The old estate sale had been advertised for weeks, but it wasn't until the day of the event that Emily stumbled upon it. She had always been drawn to the forgotten and the bizarre, and the crumbling mansion on the outskirts of town seemed to whisper her name. As she stepped inside, the air was thick with dust and the faint scent of decay. Emily wandered through the crowded rooms, her fingers trailing over the strange artifacts on display. There were vintage dolls with cracked faces, antique clocks that no longer ticked, and piles of yellowed books that seemed to lean in as she passed. But nothing caught her eye until she saw it. A leather-bound book with no title, no author, and strange symbols etched into the cover. The seller, an elderly man with sunken eyes, noticed her fascination. "That one's special," he said, his voice low and gravelly. "Some folks say it's cursed. Others say it's just odd." He chuckled, but there was no humor in his eyes. "You can have it for $5. Emily didn't hesitate. She handed over the money and clutched the book tightly as she left the mansion. It wasn't until she got home that she noticed something peculiar. The pages were blank. Not a single word, not even a mark. She flipped through them, confused, until she reached the last page. There, in the corner, was a single symbol identical to the ones on the cover. That night, Emily had the strangest dream. She was standing in a room filled with books, their pages fluttering as if caught in a storm. A figure stood in the distance, its back to her. As she approached, the figure slowly turned. Its face was a mirror of shifting symbols, like the ones in her book. She tried to scream, but her voice was swallowed by the howling wind. When she woke, her heart was racing, and the book lay open on her bedside table. The pages were no longer blank. Over the next few days, Emily became obsessed with the book. The pages filled with text, but it wasn't in any language she could understand. She took it to the local librarian, Mrs. Hale, who paled as soon as she saw the symbols. "Where did you get this?" she demanded. "It was at an estate sale," Emily replied. "Why?" Mrs. Hale hesitated. This isn't a language. It's a map. A map to something. Something you don't want to find." Emily laughed. "Don't be ridiculous. It's just an old book." That night, Emily began to hear whispers. At first, they were faint, but they grew louder, more urgent. She tried to ignore them, but the words began to make sense. "Open me, open me, open me." She resisted until the words became a scream in her mind. Then, with trembling hands, she opened the book. The symbols glowed, and the room seemed to twist around her. When the light faded, she was no longer alone. The figure from her dream stood in the corner of her room, its face a swirling mass of symbols. It didn't move, didn't speak, but Emily felt its presence like a suffocating weight. She tried to run, but her legs wouldn't move. And then everything went black. The next morning, the police found Emily's car crashed into a tree. She was gone, but the book was on the passenger seat. It was open to a page with a single sentence written in English. "I am not the author. I am the doorway." They never found her, but some say that on quiet nights, you can still hear her screaming. And if you ever find that book, don't open it. Don't even look at it, because some secrets are better left unseen.